It's just voice leading. It's just beautiful voice leading. The first jazz solo I ever transcribed in life was a solo by Sonny Stitt, and it came off of this compilation CD. That's compact disc for the compact jazz, Sonny Stitt, The Verve Years, and the song is called Moten Swing. Look at this, by the way. Look how much mouthpiece he's taken in there. It's a lot of mouthpiece, Sonny. This comes from this album. Sonny Stitt sits in with the Oscar Peterson Trio from 1959, the undisputed heavyweight champion of years for recorded jazz. We can talk about that some other time. You can't go wrong with any so-and-so sits in with the Oscar Peterson Trio. They're all gold. We're working on this in the studio right now. I've been working on this solo with my USC students. I've just been having a reunion love affair with this solo. I remember very distinctly having a lot of aha moments when I transcribed this solo. The way in which I transcribe, my process of doing it, I've just found it's been extremely beneficial. And I've also discovered that it's different than, the ways that a lot of other people are coming at it. So I just want to share some of the reasons why I do it the way I do it, show you how I do it and what's going on there. I've got some theory breakdown stuff too. Remember, you are the instrument. You might play a saxophone, you might play a piano, but you are the instrument. Notes on a page really has nothing to do with this feel. All that little in-between stuff, that's the music is in there. So getting that in your body, it's really, really important. The singing of it. In the studio, we're doing the head this month and parts of the solo, and we're gonna break the solo into parts rather. But it's also very important to transcribe the head, the melody, the song. Don't just skip to the solo, because then what happens is at best you end up with some language you can play that you're regurgitating, but you don't really have a sense of what it comes from, what it comes out of, and how to phrase melodies, etc. So it's just as important to get the melody. Let's just do a little homework here. Also really important, because you don't have the luxury of CDs and liner notes. Also from 1959. There's a Count Basie album, Chairman of the Board, where they did Moten Swing. Now they do it in, I think, A flat instead of F, but let's listen to a chunk. Okay, so first of all, Moten Swing, what's that all about? This is Benny Moten, and he is credited with developing the riffing style that would come to define many of the 1930s big bands. Anyway, that's Benny Moten, so hence Moten Swing. The album Chairman of the Board here, the Basie album, I love this little bit of trivia. This was released April 18th, 1959. The Sonny Stitt album with Oscar Peterson was released May 18th, 1959. Are they on the same label? I actually have the vinyl of this, but it's in the house. No, roulette. Okay. Anyway, 1 month apart in 1959. I'm going to show you how I break this up into parts. That part right there, that double time, it's I'm not singing every part of it by any means perfectly along with what he's doing. But what I am getting is the rhythm. I'm getting that really in my physicality, first and foremost. Really, really, really important. And I'm also just getting a big picture sense of what it is that I'm tackling. So if you approach transcribing, the worst way you can do it, look, I guess the worst way is not to do it at all. But the second worst way is to start by reading it. That would be the really not doing yourself a lot of favors. Maybe reading it after you've worked it out yourself and potentially checking it with something. Although I can't tell you the amount of times that I have looked at written transcriptions to sort of check something. I used to think the book was right. Somebody took the time and made this book of tenor saxophone solos, you know, on a such and such type of, and I'd think, well, this has to be right. Man, I went back recently to revisit some of them. They were not only were they not right, they were just flat out wrong. And if you start with that, it just gives you the whole, like, you're missing the point of what's going on. And there are so many points in Sonny Stitt solo. I know I'm yapping a lot. I feel strongly about this. And you can listen to the no yap version by just, you know, not watching this video and just go listen to the music. That's the best teacher right there. Listen to music. But listen to the music, like, actively. That's what I'm trying to advocate for here. Where is my train of thought? Because I want to get back on it. Oh, okay. So check it out. See, like, that kind of stuff is so critical to sing that stuff, to get it in your body. To feel what those notes feel like to you in your chamber, to sing them, to feel your body vibrate that way, to feel the rhythm, etc. All of that needs to happen before you get to the horn.
You're not listening to this.
Try it.
Alright, I did it. Yeah! Reynolds.
Right here. That little thing. I think that was the very first thing that I ever transcribed in life that, you know, that wasn't a Kenny G solo. Like, before I got into this stuff, I was like definitely just playing along with Kenny G and stuff. But, you know, in terms of nuts and bolts, bebop players, like, this was the first thing. And then I figured that out. That lick, that line, that nugget, it's enclosing the top three notes of a dominant chord. So in this case, concert C7. And I really took the time to understand that it's okay. It's going 6, 7, or 6 flat 7. Oh gosh, did I just say that? Good thing my 10-year-old son is not around right now to hear me say 6, 7, 6, 7, sharp 11, 6, 5, 4. Wait, 2, 4, 3, 6, 7, 6, 7, sharp 11, 6, 5, 2. Or 9, 4, 3, whatever. I just want to get a picture of it in my mind, what's going on, because that's a nugget right there, my friends. That's a nugget. The little architectural reverse engineering we just did right there, that enables me to put it in my pocket and understand it without having to go through it in all keys. Like, okay, now I'm going to practice it, and then up a half step, and then up a half step, and then up a half step. Because the problem with that is then you're learning relationships like it's like moving up a guitar or something. You're learning how your fingers are positioned. This is a little bit different than like really locking into what the heck is going on with the information. So, so then by really earning that and recognizing it, I noticed I started to find it in other places. For instance, sound familiar? Let's listen to that one more time. Okay, another one of my favorite, all-time favorite players and albums, but okay, so now I would keep singing along with this whole solo. We're gonna get to a really fun moment here that I want to do a little theory breakdown on. Before we get there, let's switch gears a little bit and just talk about the way that I'm going to attack transcribing, really like the nuts and bolts of this thing. So back in the day, I did it with a CD player with the loop feature and A/B repeat, but now I have the amazing slowdowner. This is my tool of choice, and there are others, and this one doesn't work with Spotify, but it works with Apple Music. And what I love most about this, I've said it before, I'm saying it now, it's called Amazing Slowdowner, and I don't use it to slow stuff down. I use it to capture and loop and refine the loop and then save it. That's why I love it. Look at this. Look at all these loops I have saved of this Sonny Stitt solo. I named them literally just a letter of the alphabet just because I was going in sequence, but that's what's going on here. And then this is part of the magic sauce. And the other part of the magic sauce is coming here. I'll show you. Okay, so just... So, questions. Right there, is he doing a little turn thing, like an appoggiatura thing, or is he double articulating the note G on tenor? Kind of sounds like a double articulation. In fact, this one little chunk alone has got a lot to uncover about articulation. I definitely don't still have exactly what he's doing. This is the part right here. This is the secret sauce, the refinement part. If you don't do this part, if you're reading it or you're just going through it top to bottom, if you're not taking the time to invest in one little chunk at a time, you're missing so much nutritional value here. Every time I go around in this loop, I can focus more closely on a different element. It could be, like, should I use bis B flat or side B flat? Hint, bis in this case. Is that a double G or is it a appoggiatura turny thing? Is it, is he tonguing there? Or is he slurring that? You know what I mean? Like, I can address a new thing each time. So that was chunk A. So now let's go to, you know what? Let's not damage the saxophone by trying to do this. Okay. So now let's go to chunk B. A lot of articulation in that one. Let's go on to the next section. So instead of slowing it down, what I do is a quick pause. I try to pause really fast and hear the echo of that note that's ringing out. Ba boo ba. Ah, now I understand what it is. So that was, and at some point, just for time, I'm not going to do it here. What I'll start to do is link these together, and I'll do one more and kind of show you what I mean. So that was. So even right there, I notice as I'm doing that, oh, okay, just that one little moment that I'm playing, for me on tenor, that is a C half diminished seventh chord with a half step pickup. Ba da 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 da. I'm gonna keep doing that, including the faster parts. Woo!
Alright, I did it.
Huh. I'm deciding between bis B flat and side B flat. That's what I'm doing there. This will take a while, by the way. I won't subject you to the whole thing. This process will allow me to I'm getting the notes in real time. This helps my ears. It just helps me have real-time ears, faster ears, you know? If I slowed it down, I would be training myself to slow it down. I'm not gonna say never slow something down, not saying that, but just showing you how this is beneficial. Because I'm hearing something more as a chunk, you know, I'm hearing like the information as a whole. And by just pausing quickly and such, I can, the notes are ringing out and I can think about them, look for them. It's a little bit of a song and dance, but this is the process. You really hear his adherence to the time. That's what I love so much. It's like the phrase is always, he's never going to let you down with the timing here. So once I feel reasonably secure that I've locked in the information, then I slow it down, meaning I slow myself down to work on it. And I'll do that over and over and over. Hey! Okay, so we'll keep going with that. I have, all of these chunks in here. And I'll go on and on and on. So the last one that I want to show you is a little bit further into the solo. Check this out. That. Wow. So this is in concert F. Now the changes, if you look them up and everything, or I reel them and such, let's just say that there's a couple of moments in here that it could go a couple different ways, but it's the second 4 bars of the A section that this moment is happening over. I made a little loop. So I'm going to tap this thing and nothing's going to happen. Oh, wait. This is obviously slower. What the heck is going on there? So this is what he's doing right here. He does earlier in the solo, he does later. It tends to happen around this turnaround, which is why it's a really great piece to dig out, because what he's playing is a beautifully elegant way to transform this from a bunch of it's not random. It's not random at all, root movement, but common root movement. But when you see this as a player, oftentimes when we see changes, when we start with the eyes and we're just looking, it's problematic because our eyes are leading the dance instead of our ears. We look at something with our eyes and then we ask ourselves, what should we play with this thing that I'm looking at? Instead of what sounds right here? Where is my ear leading me? However, it's helpful to kind of get your eyes on some of this stuff together with your ears to know what the heck is going on, right? So here's a little bit of what's going on this section. These are the changes of Moten Swing. Okay, these are the changes of Moten Swing right here. All right. And this is what Sonny Stitt is playing over the top with that one line there. And so you can see he's playing these kind of upper structure stacks. So here's the main chords But by doing this beautifully chromatically descending half diminished chord, minor 7, minor 7, minor 7, and then I put parentheses here because he ends on the F sharp, but it's implying this tritone subdominant chord. But this is the lovely part, and I've circled the thirds and sevenths in here, you know. That's what this beautiful chromatically descending thing does over the top of this, instead of just coming at it's just voice leading. It's just beautiful voice leading in a really melodic note by note way. Really, it's a pianistic thing, like a voice leading on the piano thing. So here we go. Here's what Stitt's playing. There's that first half diminished chord over G7. So it really gives you a G dominant 9 sound. So then the next one he plays, that B flat half diminished, gives us the sound over the C7. It gives us, you know, we have the third and the seventh, but then we also have the flat 9 and the sharp 5 or flat 13. And then his A, you know, the A minor 7 being played over the top of F. It's really F major 9. And then, love this one. We get the sound of, we have that third up there for the D7, but we've got the flat 9, the natural 13, and the flat 5. So it's really like a diminished scale thing. Being articulated by that 1 minor 7th chord there, and then G minor 7. And although he doesn't finish this one, that's what's being implied. So together, that's what's happening. I'll put it with the roots. So nice. You know, voice leading. But that's what's happening at this moment in the solo, which is 254. Just listen to this. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then it goes into some blazing double time. Anyway, so lots and lots of small loops. Use a tool, and just the loops are that's the whole thing. If you just get in there and get into the nitty gritty with the loops like that, like small loops repeated, and then whenever something strikes you, especially when you're marrying, like, hey, I'm transcribing something with a song with a lead sheet I can get my hands on or whatever, a song that you're learning, it's like, dig in, find the parts that make, why does this part sound so good? Is it the way it feels? Is it what he plays? Is it what he plays combined with how it feels? Probably. Things of that nature. Just be really active with it. And like I said, there's no value for the ultimate purpose of becoming a person who can stand up with an instrument and improvise spontaneously and make music that way. There's very little value, if no value at all, to the practice of reading transcriptions. It's like saying that in order to become a better chef, you're going to practice painting or something. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But this is how I make it manageable, by squeezing this thing down, putting like a vise on it down to these little parts. I mean, you heard some of those loops that I did, right? They were really small, really short. And then from that, I get ownership of this material. That's what's great about it, you know? The repetition over and over and over. The repetition is what transfers it from he or she to me, you know? That makes it going from like, from learning it to earning it. Big difference there.